Well, I guess we did something right. They allowed us back for another episode of 3 Cents Podcast. So here we are in the beautiful Prestige Motorsports showroom here near the San Antonio Airport. If you're wondering, God, that's a cool place. Where are they? Well, we're near, it's on Plymouth Drive, I believe is the street name. But
Plymouth Road.
Plymouth Road.
9711.
Thank you. Well, very good. So literally a stone's throw away from the San Antonio International Airport. But this is 3 Cents Podcast. I'm Ernie Zuniga. This is Cleto Rodriguez and Mike Taylor here with you once again. And we did not scare away Integrity Roofing and Siding last week, or last time I should say. Ronnie and Stephanie Suarez, if you were with us the last episode, came on as our presenting sponsor, and we're so thrilled and just overjoyed doing cartwheels on the inside that they are on board.
I'll do one on the outside.
You might do one at the end of the show.
I will.
That they're on board. They saw something in us. They really like what we're doing, and so we're going to continue to hopefully make them proud. And you see their logo there at the top of the screen. So obviously, if you or your family are in the market for roofing repairs or a redo or whatever the case may be, siding, there they are. Ronnie and Stephanie Suarez, been doing it
Great people.
35
Great
years. They're all San Antonio, and they're amazing people. So we're thrilled to have them on board. So with that, we are underway now and inching closer to the month of November. And I wonder what's on Cleto Rodriguez's mind.
Well, you know, just Halloween being around the corner. And have you got your costume already?
I haven't, and I'll in a minute I'll kind of bring you up to speed on the Halloween situation at my house. Because we had a development just the other day that I want to run by you guys.
Okay,
go ahead.
I mean, I'm looking now. The other day when I told you I was trying to go as Vin Diesel and nobody saw that, I thought I'm going to go now with what they kind of said, you know, Charlie Brown. I'm like, if I could find a little yellow shirt with the little squiggly black line on it, black shorts and black shoes, I mean, I'm a winner here.
Kick the football. And
Kick the football, have Lucy come on out, you know. And
would Lynette, your wife, would she be Lucy? And you guys could do the whole...
She's Lucy in real life.
Oh.
Like, I'll run. She'll see me running for the football, and she'll have no problem going, I was going to tell you. And then here I am, just boom, land on my back.
Charlie Brown, I think, would be fun.
Charlie Brown's going to be interesting.
Now, you'd have to shave because Charlie Brown did not have a beard.
Yeah, I don't know. There's going to be a hairy Charlie Brown. How about you, Mike? You got your costume?
No, I feel terrible.
You got plenty of time.
You still have time.
I know.
A few more days.
It requires starting to think about it first of all, which I've not done. And I don't want to be a lame. I got to figure out something.
Well, what happens
coming up next week?
Well, by this time, most of the good stuff has been picked over. So then you have to get creative and make a costume.
Well, that's more fun. That's what I did last year.
So last minute. Bit here, get a little bit something here.
I have a bin full of costumes if you need any. So just letting you know.
Shocking that you have a bunch of costumes.
Yeah. Enough about date night. Anyway, so
yeah.
We went.
So certainly Charlie Brown.
I'm not certain on Charlie Brown. If I can find the costume, I'll get it. If I can't, then it's gonna be a toga, I guess. I don't know.
Didn't he just wear was it black shorts and a yellow T-shirt?
Yellow shirt with a little black squiggly line on it.
Okay.
And then just my bald head.
I gotta believe you can find that.
I'm sure.
We'll see.
If not, I'll have to have it made or something.
What did you do last year?
What was I last year? I don't know. I can't remember. Now that I think about it, I can't remember what it was last year.
I was a cholo, orale.
Oh,
so, I live with this
you showed us the picture.
I live with this little brown woman here, right?
That's right.
So
Nina.
for all my life, in my past life, I've been the half Mexican guy, right?
Yeah.
The Mexican mom. That's Mike. Like in my previous life, I was a short half Mexican man. Now that I'm with a little tiny Mexican woman, I've turned into a tall white man.
Okay.
I'm little, which is weird because hey, baby, I'm part Mexican. And Nina does not count.
She says
she doesn't get partial credit, right?
Oh no,
I am not all the way poodle, so I'm not all the way. So
yeah.
I know you're just a tall white guy. Forever, I was a short little half Mexican kid. Now I'm a tall white boy.
Nice.
So last year we thought it would be a good bit. She went as basically frijolita, her bean and cheese character.
Yeah.
And I was wannabe
Little
white
frijole?
guy. Yeah, well, I was the white bean. What do you call the white beans?
Kidney bean?
Yeah, I was a kidney bean. Yeah, I was
Kidney bean.
Puro kidney bean. And I had the shirt at the top. Boom, no, it was awful. And I thought I looked cool.
Sad girl.
I'm not. So we went to a party on Halloween last year, and I just went into my brain. I forgot about it. So we didn't want to drive. Not that we're partiers, or we didn't plan on getting blasted or anything. We got kids and stuff. We're in our 40s, but let's get an Uber because we had a party. Let's Uber. We'll Uber home. Don't have to worry about anything.
Don't worry about it.
Easy peasy. The Uber guy picks us up, right? Not to stereotype anybody, but he picks us up, and he was a very interesting Uber driver, and it couldn't have been more perfect for how we were dressed.
Yeah.
It's clearly Halloween, right? We're obviously dressed up. But here's my little Mexican girlfriend. She's got her bandana. She's got the Sharpie eyebrows. She's got the flannel and the fishnet. And here's my dumbass with a shirt unbuttoned all the way except for the top like a moron, the hat all stupid looking, acting all hard ass. And so we get into the Uber, right? And this guy, he's like, hey, how y'all doing? He was from the west side or south. He wasn't no Stone Oak Mexican. He was a Mexican Mexican.
No.
So we get in the bank and say, hey, what's up? Hey, what are y'all doing? Oh, we're going to a party. Oh, that's cool. So about 10 minutes into this trip, right, I realize this dude thinks this is how we look all the time. Because he starts chatting us up. Like, ooh, I've got people like me in the car for once.
Yeah.
These are not stuffy people. These are not... Oh, he's like, hey, where y'all going? We're going to a party. Oh, that's cool. We heard about his brother. His brother just got out of jail, and he's going to a Halloween party tomorrow night. But I'm not kidding you. He has an ankle bracelet.
Oh.
I can't go within 5 miles from the house, so we're gonna have a party at his house. Talked about his son, who's a drummer.
I see an Uber driver.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good point.
Maybe someone took the P test for him. I don't know. How do you become an Uber driver? I don't know.
Wait a minute.
He clearly has to have a decent record. But it was funny because here, me and Nina are like. We're just looking at each other in the back like, oh, my God, this is – because we look ridiculous.
Yeah.
In our minds, I'm dressed like – what was the white dude on Blood In, Blood Out? I look like Miklo.
Miklo.
Here I is, Miklo.
Miklo.
Frijolita. And he's just like – you could just tell he just like – have you been in another country and run into another English speaker? I was like, oh, my
forever.
God.
Yeah.
Or you're on vacation, you run into a Texan. Hey, where are you from? We're from San Angelo. Hey, San Antonio, that's cool. How long you been at Disneyland? It was like that because he was around folks like him, and so he chatted us up for 45 minutes. He's like, "Hey, y'all have a good time. Watch out, y'all be safe." He's dapping me up.
Wow.
I gave him a good tip. He thought
5 stars.
5 stars, the whole bit.
Okay.
He thought, these are my people. I'm so happy that there's normal people in this world that still button the top, not the rest like me. I was a white Pachuco, and he dug it, man. So I'll never forget that. And it was very telling because this is still very much a Hispanic, old-school, blue-collar city, man. And not that we live in a gate. I don't want that. Like, oh, we saw some Hispanics today. No. It wasn't like that.
No.
We just couldn't believe the way we were. I looked stupid. I looked ridiculous. But he thought, primo. He was dapping me up.
Primo.
He's like, yeah, he's a white boy, but he's one of us on the inside.
Right, Miklo.
Yeah, he's brown on the
forever,
he's with a Mexican shoe. I had street cred with this guy, and it's like,
give me some chon-chon.
It was a reminder where I live, and so it was probably the most memorable Uber ride of all time, and it was a year ago. So I don't want to bring back Miklo. It was a success. But I gotta get more creative and do something. That was mailed in. I didn't have nothing, so I was like, I'm just gonna grab a flannel.
There you go.
So
wear my hat like an idiot.
Haven't talked about this year, which y'all gonna
No,
do?
we need to figure it out, man.
Yeah.
And I love about Halloween is women always. It's an excuse for women to dress real sexy.
Yeah.
And they don't feel like they're doing anything taboo. It's Halloween. I'll put the fishnets on. I'll go crazy with the makeup. Baby, you look great. You look so cute. But you don't let them know. Don't let them know you're thinking that way. Oh, babe, you look so cute tonight. You boys know. Hey, do these white stockings look okay, baby? Those are fine. Those are great. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite part about Halloween is that women will dress fun. As long as they feel like they're not dressing
outside of their
slutty.
comfort zone.
Yeah, you don't look slutty, baby. You look really cute. You look, this is cool. This is great. Meanwhile, you're like,
there's a costume. There's a sexy version of seemingly every costume. Sexy nurse, sexy maid, sexy this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I get the weird ones. I'm not trying to get this weird for a couple of distinguished gentlemen.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
I always get creeped out by the people, the blasphemous ones. It's like, come on. Why are you gonna wear a priest outfit with a devil horns on? Come on, that'd be cool. Or we're like monster with a cross. It's kind of weird. Or the sexy nun. That always creeps me out.
Sexy nun. No,
I can't do that. No. Outside of that, though, I support all the rest of them.
Okay.
As long as the sexy one.
What
Just
do you
don't
and Tammy
blaspheme.
do? I think I dressed up 2 years ago. It just depends. It's hit or because you got to remember when I was on the air, and if Halloween fell on a Sunday through Thursday night, I mean, we got to be done by 8 o'clock or whatever, because I had to go to bed. I can't even remember what day of the week it was on last year. I felt like it was in the middle of the week, but no, it's probably low key. The kids just want to go trick or treating, and they wanted to go to my dad's house because he lives in a different neighborhood where it is perceived by my children that they give out better candy there. So we had to jump in the car and drive to my dad's house. Ranch. No, I didn't say that. But not far from there. That's where we went. Not far from there. But no, they give out full-size candy bars here. And
I got a shake.
Yeah. As I recall, I think the Astros were in the playoffs, or I don't know if the World Series was going on, but yeah, it was going on. And so I had my phone. I was probably walking around while the kids were trick-or-treating, watching Game 6 or whatever it was.
Did y'all get dressed up, you and Tammy?
We have before, hit or miss. It just depends. If we get to go to a Halloween party or it's on a weekend or something, we'll dress up. But she hasn't. I don't think Tammy's done sexy anything. I mean, she's a little more like conservative and that's probably
Lynette and I 1 year we had at Las Chiladas we had a Halloween party, and it was like we had like a karaoke thing going on, and we dressed up like Prince and Apollonia in Purple Rain. And my wife had these like tight shiny pants that like what's her name Vanity used to wear, in Purple Rain or whatever, Apollonia.
Yes.
So, but I was like Prince, but I was like Chubby Prince.
You were.
I was like, remember I was Chubby Prince?
I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah, so I was like Chubby Prince, and I remember we were doing a radio show with Roman, and I went over there, and I had my jacket on, and I'll be dang, the dang button just took off, and I'm like, he saw the button over here, and I'm like, what the, hey. So I was like Chubby Prince. I just named myself Chubby Prince.
They didn't think you were Little Richard or anything,
They didn't think I was Little Richard. They thought I was Meatloaf. When I had the
they
had the cuffs. They thought I was Meatloaf, and they go,
I would do anything for. I thought maybe that's what you did.
Yeah, they thought I was Meatloaf, and what's that slow song he had?
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Yeah, it's like, man, Cliff, you look like you had 2 out of 3 burgers that weren't bad, and I'm like, but I love my dad. He's a sweet man.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I was Chubby Prince, and that's all
I don't mean to laugh.
But no, seriously, it was pretty funny. I was like, man, I knew how to lose weight. But the thing was, I couldn't take the jacket off because the shirt was just the front. It was just the front and the sleeves.
So you be Babe Ruth this year in a baggy jersey. You're acting like you're acting like you weigh 500 pounds.
Well, no, I mean, back a couple years ago, I was like, man,
a little bigger?
A little bigger, yeah. And I was like, man, I just didn't. I mean, the button popped off. I couldn't take my jacket off because it shows on my back. And I'm like, it's Party City. It's a Party City costume.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 2 years ago, I was the big wheel from The Price is Right.
Oh, I remember that.
You remember that?
Cool.
Yes.
So, and I love game shows. I'm a game show fanatic. I still love them to this day. And I found that online, or Tammy found it online and got it for me. And
that's
I loved
the perfect gift.
Loved it. It was great. It was, except for the fact that I'm a gigantic wheel. So every time I turn around to say hi to somebody and knock somebody over, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. And so, yes, I was the giant wheel.
Did you wear that? Did you wear that on the news?
I don't think I wore it on the news.
What was it that you wore?
We had a Ray Feo
news?
party.
You
I was Richard Simmons.
Richard Simmons.
I won the station costume contest
right,
that year.
I remember.
And I thought I had destroyed all the photos, but there's a photo out there of me. And essentially, and I apologize for the visual in advance, but it's the Richard Simmons, the wig with the curly hair that he had, a tank top,
shorts,
and short shorts.
Yeah, showed the goods.
And then,
not that I saw, but I'm just saying.
Thank you. No, but it was enough to win me the station costume contest.
baby.
I can tell you, Chubby Prince didn't win that year.
But,
man, but I bet y'all reenacted the Lake Minnetonka scene though. Huh? Yeah, worked out later.
We sure did.
You remember the movie?
You want candy? Trick or treat.
Call me kid.
Call me. I can't. Remember that movie, Purple Rain? I thought when I saw Purple Rain, I remember getting so mad that he didn't win an Oscar. Then I look at it now and I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay.
The Prince, you mean, or who? Or
No, Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Prince
for
didn't get it
Best
for
Picture.
Purple Rain.
Was it nominated?
No, it wasn't.
I was
It
going to say
trash.
no.
It was
It was
like
trash.
trash.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
what
it
was
was
it up
straight
against?
trash.
No.
I just felt.
We love it, but it was awful.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, you watched it now, you're
look
like,
at it
oh, my God.
Yeah, I look at it now. I'm thinking, how in the world did I get mad that they didn't win? They didn't get nominated for an Oscar. Now I know
like
why.
to see old television shows that I loved as a kid because I think, God, I was an idiot. How did I possibly think this was any good? So many shows are like that now.
I just saw the Steven Seagal marathon last weekend, and I'm looking at these movies, and I'm thinking,
that sucked at the
wow.
time.
I was like, I'm thinking, I don't remember this being so cheesy when I saw it back in 80-something. You know what? You're going to the bank. The blood bank.
Yeah, I remember that line.
Yeah.
Well, but now we didn't have as much to choose from.
True.
You're
back
right,
then,
but we still loved crap.
We did.
We're going to the Blockbuster video, and each of kids
Tango
you can
and
pick
Cash.
out.
How did it not get nominated? Tango and Cash.
You can pick out one video each.
Turner and Hooch was amazing. Wait till you see it, baby. I can't believe you haven't seen it. And 2 hours later, you're getting dumped because the movie was awful and you waste a woman's life. Yeah. TV shows are that way, too. Of course, I was a kid. Like Dukes of Hazzard, Different Strokes, shows like that.
Those shows were
You go back
awesome.
and watch them.
Three's Company.
I dare you to watch. No, okay.
Well, wait a minute.
I don't want to watch Three's Company because I loved it so much.
Right.
I'm afraid I won't, and I don't want to. It's like you meet your hero and he's an a-hole. Yeah. But
Come on, Larry from the Regal Beagle.
Yeah.
Come on.
I watched about 10 minutes of a Dukes of Hazzard episode a couple of years ago, and I
Yeah.
thought, wow, I was pure, dumb, white trash. And I felt worse about my time. This is what I loved. I watched this I wanted to be Luke Duke.
I thought you said you had a crush on Daisy Duke. I thought
Daisy
that's
Duke.
Well, that too. Of course, everybody did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody
But you
did.
wanted to jump in your car like an idiot with a stupid racist rebel flag on the door. I loved that. Loved it hard, man.
You bring up a good point.
Terrible.
You know,
Yeah.
like back in the day, top 5 female actresses that you
In
watch the
movies or
show
just
for
anywhere?
in TV show.
Back in the day, being the 80s.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the
Okay.
80s?
Yes.
Oh,
I'll go Wonder Woman, Linda Carter.
Linda Carter.
I'll go Jacquelin Smith.
You go
Charlie's
girls.
Angels.
You want
Charlie's
your,
Angels?
girls on your wall or
No.
good actresses?
No, girls on my wall.
Okay.
So
Because there's a difference.
there's a big difference.
Hear how he knew what I meant.
Yeah.
No, girls on the wall, dude.
Jacqueline
Not
Smith.
Meryl Streep.
All of the
Jacqueline
Charlie's
Smith,
Angels.
Farrah Fawcett, all of Charlie's Angels. Might as
Okay.
well put all of them out there. And then, what's her name? Who's the boss?
Oh, Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano.
Samantha.
Oh,
Samantha.
Yeah.
Samantha.
The Samantha, her, and I'm trying to think who else.
I mean, 80s
Oh,
TV.
Fall Guy. Was her name Heather Thomas?
Yes, I believe you're right. Yeah.
And then you could throw the Heather Locklear in there too if you want.
Well, that's what I always tell people. When I was
Yeah.
at work, I would always get a grief because 80s movies, and I'm somewhat ashamed to admit it now, I just didn't watch them back then. I was
You missed nothing.
I was
Probably.
I was
80s
such a
movies?
Yes, and
Oh,
here's what happened. Just a few years ago, within the last 5 years or so, for the first time ever, I watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Wow.
And I came away, and I know I'm going to get criticized.
It
for this.
probably sucks.
Well, no,
I came away thinking this is a lot less underwhelming than I expected. I was
Absolutely.
expecting so much more.
Underwhelming?
Like this did not deliver. And I'm thinking, okay, like I didn't watch Top Gun until more recently when Maverick came out. Like I missed
Whoa.
all of
original.
those. I didn't watch. I never saw the original until within the last couple of
Did
years.
you see The Outsiders?
I have not seen. No.
Wow.
You name the 80s movie, except I've seen all the Back to the Futures and Indiana Joneses, and
Okay.
the Superman movies were my favorite movies
Okay.
of all time.
Okay.
But I was such a big game show and TV guy. Like I'm your 80s game show TV trivia guy. I'm your
Okay.
guy. Movies.
What was your favorite game show?
Game show? Like in the 80s? Well, I mean, it was Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, that
What was
kind
the
of stuff
one
in
with
the 80s.
Jack? Where you slam it and it would go.
Pressure Luck.
Pressure
That
Luck.
was fantastic.
I like that
You got
one.
the whammy, the little
whammy,
double guy.
whammy,
Yes.
no whammy,
Yes.
no whammy, no whammy.
Yeah.
There you go.
And people say, well, Wheel of Fortune and Price is Right are on now, and that's another discussion for another day, but I'm not down with the Drew Carey version of
Yeah.
Price is Right.
I don't care
Give
too
me
much.
the 80s
Bob
versions.
Barker, all the way.
Bob Barker and those hosts. That's, that was my wheelhouse.
You ever see the bloopers on Needlehead Game?
on the Newlywed Game. Yeah.
Oh man, that is some funny stuff. If you go check out the bloopers on it, it is
the Bob Eubanks, like the early '70s and '80s.
Yes.
You know what? I think Drew Carey may have now hosted that show longer than Bob Barker did. It's been 20 years since he retired. No.
So Bob Barker retired
Help
in
me
2000.
out, Mr. Trivia
So
Man.
Bob Barker did The Price is Right for about 35 years.
35. Okay, Drew's not
Drew
35.
Carey came on in, I think, 2007.
Whoa, dang.
So, yeah,
okay.
yeah. So he's not quite there yet. But
16. Bob was 35 years. What was the first year of that show?
Like 72.
Okay.
And then he did it until like 2007. Yeah. And Drew Carey came on.
Okay.
Now you got Pat Sajak getting ready to retire.
Yeah.
And you're going to have, those kinds of things are stuff that I paid attention to. And then Alex Trebek has passed away.
Boy, we did not have many choices, did we?
And like Richard Dawson, did you ever watch the old Family Feud? Because like Steve Harvey as a comedian, like he's a funny guy as a comedian.
Yes.
I have a problem with comedians who have been given these game shows, these iconic shows,
or Michael Strahan,
Michael Strahan, or that you have Michael Strahan hosting Pyramid, you have Steve Harvey, Drew Carey. I know Richard Karn hosted Family Feud. Louis Anderson hosted. Anyway, I went off on a tangent.
Houston's own Mike Strahan was doing Pyramid?
He is currently doing
it now. Yeah.
He has like 45 jobs.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Off, dude. Let someone else do something.
Right. Thank you.
$25,000 for you guys.
No.
That guy's thug.
No.
I don't want to watch Michael Strahan host the game show.
Well,
stupid.
Apparently Disney loves him.
But you don't like
of course,
comedians doing the games? Why?
Well, I know why they do it because they're good at ad-libbing and engaging in the crowd. But I'm so loyal to the Bob Barkers they were hosts.
Oh, geez, baby.
Like
That's
they
all
were
they did.
hosts,
Yes.
and if you study them, and I'm the same way with talk show hosts. Like I'm a Johnny Carson guy, thick and thin. Letterman, fine. Leno, I was Jimmy Fallon, no thanks. Kimmel. Like I'm not saying they're not funny.
No, I'm on board with you.
I'm not saying they don't do good stand-up. I'm not saying they're not funny. Don't get me wrong, because my kids and I have this conversation all the time. But if you're talking about hosting a show and as a host, give me the old school guys.
Richard Dawson. It's so
Richard
funny.
Dawson.
Come here and let me put my tongue in your mouth.
Well, that's it. I wouldn't
he
kiss
would
all
be
the.
so canceled today.
No. You couldn't. No, you couldn't.
What do you say,
Survey
sweetheart?
says no. You
That was
couldn't.
another time. Dude, he would get his spit in your wife's
Yeah, no,
mouth.
I wouldn't. No, I'm not down with that. I'm not. I don't condone that.
It was bad.
And
That
Steve,
guy was weird.
But
when someone asked me the other day, you're like doing this show, you're doing that show, you're doing this, and they don't understand that when I was coming up, I actually wanted to be like Bob Saget. He had his stand-up, he had America's Funniest Videos, and he had Full House.
Full House.
I wanted it my dreams to have my sitcom,
right.
Whatever
Money
show,
on top of money, piles on top of piles of money.
So it switched from Bob Saget to Steve Harvey. He's doing everything now pretty much under the sun. His own talk show.
Right.
I mean, his Family Feud, and then I forgot what else.
He's got a judge's show. He's got his radio
I saw the
shows.
judge's show the other day. I'm like, dude, throw someone a bone. Like, relax.
Ryan Seacrest is the same way.
He's another one. That you look at. But you said something about Ferris Bueller's, and I'm thinking, I just saw a movie the other day that I have never seen before, and it was the same thing. Like, wow. But my thing was, how did I not see this movie? And I'm trying to think of which one it was. As we keep talking, it'll come to me. So,
But at any rate.
So if you just hear me say Shazam, whatever,
Every once in a while, I'll get sucked in though when I see an old '80s show or something come on, and just takes me back to a moment or.
But I'm not
childhood.
that guy. I'm not that guy that sees them when they're hot. I just finished watching this series of this show, and I kid you not, it's gonna hit. You ever heard of Seinfeld? Oh, it's gonna hit.
Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah. I just started watching this thing. He's funny.
Yeah, he is funny.
I don't ever watch it when it's hot. I always watch it later. I always watch it down later on. I'm like, Friends.
Well, Larry David is funny. I mean, like he and Seinfeld together made that show.
I didn't watch Curb Your Enthusiasm until the last couple of years. LG got me watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, and it was like season 12 when I started watching it with him. I'm like, this is hilarious.
LG is good, man. He got me on crack.
And I'll tell you, then I will make this point. I don't want to upset you
Not at
or
all,
anybody.
No.
There was none of those great shows from the 80s, with the exception of a couple, whether it's a sitcom, game show, can hold a candle to the things that have happened in the last 20 years in television, the golden age of great television.
Watch your mouth, Mike.
I know. See what you said? Nah.
Kardashians are a good
Curb Your
show.
Enthusiasm is 3 times better than Seinfeld ever thought about being.
Well,
and that's because of the great Larry David.
Well,
the
HBO.
Isn't that same guy wrote that?
Well, no, Larry David. Yeah,
Larry,
but
yeah.
but Seinfeld had NBC and so many things you couldn't. I mean, the things he did on Curb Your Enthusiasm, he couldn't get away with.
But the ideas, the creativity behind the gags. Maybe you could say F and talk more about sex.
Right.
But the ideas behind the gags,
No
were
question
better,
about it.
or they're better now. We get caught up in old day syndrome, good old day syndrome.
Right.
Where man, Dukes of Hazzard was quality. That got me through the
Different
80s.
Strokes.
Whenever Grandma Becky wouldn't come home for 2 days, I just watched all that TV,
Punky
and I thought
Brewster.
it was great. And you go back and watch that now, and it's garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage. Television's never been better than it has been in the last 10 years. Although now there's so much to choose from.
That's
now.
the thing.
There is,
See, there's the thing. You go back and say, I can't watch it all. I watch shows late. I watch everything late.
Yeah.
We just discovered a show this week. It's in season 13 on the BBC. It's called I think it's called The Midwife. It's based in England. It's about 1950s midwives and all the crap they went through trying to help rich people have their kids or protect women that had illegitimate babies. In the 50s, it was tough to do. It's a great show. We're hooked, and it's been on for 20 years in England. You cannot. There's so much TV. There's so much out there.
Yeah.
You can't possibly see it all, and you won't see any of it hardly in real time. Because do you watch live television? Do you stop? Oh,
Sports.
My show at Thursday night at 7 on NBC. No one does that. No one I know.
Nobody I know
Someone
watches
must.
the sitcoms
Somebody
when it
must be.
comes out.
Yeah, no one. Not anybody.
Sitcoms are not the
I
same
know.
anymore.
Well,
Yeah,
TiVo
it's
also
changed.
the ability to pause live television and record it and all that.
I think
DVRs,
King
that
of Queens was the last thing that I thought
Good
that was
grief.
really.
That was that's
Yeah.
20
Kevin
years?
James.
Well, I just finished watching this thing called MASH. You ever heard of it?
Sure, yeah.
Pretty good.
What's your favorite show now? Are you guys like all in on something that's currently out now?
You just got to be streaming now, if that.
I don't.
outside of 3 Cents Podcast.
Yes.
Outside of this show, obviously.
I like that.
No. I mean, to be honest with you, I end up watching
Game
just
shows?
live sports, game shows. Get caught up on. I am like an unsolved mysteries, murder mysteries, forensic files. Those types
Murder.
of
Yeah,
mystery. Yeah. I don't know what it is, what that says about me, but the whodunits that are all solved nice and clean in an hour. I can get 43 minutes with commercials.
Yeah, man.
I like those kinds of and unsolved mysteries. Kind of takes me back to
What was that guy that did
Robert
that?
Stack.
Yeah, Robert Stack.
And I will tell you, the theme music to this day scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I mean, when that that theme song comes on.
It's not wise to watch television in real time now.
Yeah.
When you can wait till it's over and binge it over the course of a week.
And fast forward through the commercials or whatever.
Yeah, I don't need all that business. I'm not going to spend 8 years with a television show. I'll spend 8 weeks with one binging it, but not 8 years.
On
That's crazy.
cable, there's this channel called Binge, and I saw and went back and recorded all the series of 21 Jump Street. You remember
Johnny
that
Depp,
show?
with Johnny Depp.
Life's too short. Why are you
Man,
watching that crap?
I was watching
Awful.
all of these shows again. First of all, back
Early
in the
Fox.
day,
That's an early
first
Fox
in the-
right there.
Back in the day, I would have done anything to have Johnny Depp's hair. I could tell you that right now, and I ain't ashamed to say it. I would have loved to have Johnny Depp's hair. Hell, I'll take his hair right now.
Wait a minute.
It smells terrible. You
Yeah,
don't want that. You don't want that hair.
But yeah, he had like the best hair. Then it shows him. Remember Booker, Richard Grieco, when he came out toward the end.
Yes.
It shows those. I'm on those episodes right now, and it's like you got.
Wow, 21 Jump
Oh,
Street.
I
That's-
watch-
God.
It's a deep cut right there.
Again, you're talking to somebody.
Live a little,
that
man.
I catch it late.
You catch it.
I catch
the
it
pe-
really
these
late.
people-
30 years
half
late.
These people are dead.
Well,
30
I
years
wonder-
late.
I look at stuff and I say, oh, well, let me see what all the hype's about. And I'm that guy. I'll go, okay, well, let me binge watch Seinfeld. Let me binge watch these, Different Strokes or whatever it is. Let me go back and see some of the stuff that I grew up. Like I think I told you this the other day that we were watching TV Land or something. I was channel surfing and I said I came across Hawaii Five-0 and I told my kids, look, this is a show I used to watch back in the day. The original.
Wow.
And I told them, look, I go, kid
They're
you
all
not,
dead.
We're watching
Their
Hawaii
kids are
Five-0. And I look, son, I go, this is what I used to watch back in the day. And then the guy goes in the scene, hey, Larry, he goes, yeah? You got a dime? He goes, yeah. Why? I need to make a call. And my son
dime.
goes, what kind of calling plan does he have that needs a dime?
Dang.
I go,
dude.
He goes, what is that he's talking? I go, he's talking about the payphone. He's on the payphone.
You gotta put a dime.
And he goes, payphone?
Yeah.
It was brand new to him. He had no idea what was going on. He goes, what kind of calling plan does he have? I was busting out.
That's amazing. Good grief, man! I can't do that now anymore. Like if a show's been out for more than about 5 years, I didn't get to it. I'm just not going to be able to.
Maybe eventually you will.
After a certain time, I just can't do it. Probably this summer, me and Nina spent the summer watching Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
which is not that old. It's still not even done yet because of the writer's strike. They haven't released the last part of the last season, and we binged it over the course of about a month. And it was fantastic. I love it very much. I love Kevin Costner. I loved everything he did in the 80s. Since you haven't seen any movies in the 80s, it was great.
There's one called Field of Dreams.
I did see Field of Dreams, but much later.
I love Kevin Costner. I love John Dutton. Maybe I'll go as John Dutton for Halloween.
You know what?
But I gotta
Nina's got to go as Beth.
I gotta get a. Never mind. I would drown Beth if I could in a river, and I'd stare in her eyeballs while she died. I hate that woman. No, but we just watched it over this summer. But had it been a year from now, it might have been like, I didn't see it. I can't watch it all. There's too much great TV. You can't get to it all. So
yeah.
How come you don't like Beth?
I was going to say something, but I promised you I wouldn't be that vulgar on this
show.
Oh, shoot. She is one of the most miserable characters in a television series of my lifetime. I guess that's why she makes her so good. Like if I saw the actress walking in, I'd be like, hey. Yeah. I guess she's that good. That she's very good. I hate the character so much.
I saw the last Emmys last year, and I was shocked that she didn't get nominated. And I'm sorry, she didn't win.
She didn't win.
Mm-hmm. And I was wonding, well, who won?
Was she
because
nominated
she was so
for
good.
Best Drama Actress? Yeah.
She was nominated, and I'm looking, I'm like, how did she not win? Like, the only one that won was
They all
John
hate her
Dutton.
character.
I looked back, and I said, well, who won this category? And it was, what's her name from Ozark? Do you see Ozark? Have you seen Ozark?
Laura Linney.
Yes.
Yeah, Ozark was fantastic.
That girl, when I saw that, I go, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it now, because she's so good at that character she played.
Ernie, do you have a favorite, like an all-timer that's 10 years old or less?
TV show?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Like, did you not watch Breaking Bad?
I did not.
Wow.
And you know what's interesting? My
Good
son
Lord.
saw it. My son binge watched it, and tells me all about Breaking Bad
Obviously,
and Better Call Saul.
You didn't watch Saul
No,
either.
I didn't.
No.
But my
you can't
son
watch
tells
Saul
me.
unless you watch
No,
Bad.
I know.
Right,
I know.
yeah.
No, I'm just such a creature of habit. Like, for example, Night Court was one of my favorite shows all time in the 80s.
Same. Agree.
But they just NBC just rebooted it,
I know,
a year
I
ago,
can't do it.
I know
can't.
John Larroquette's in it.
Yeah.
Dan
one of my
Fielding.
heroes.
But it's not the same Dan
No,
Fielding.
right.
And people who are of our age know what I'm talking about. And so that kind
He
of
would stick his tongue in your mouth too.
that kind of would.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes me a little sad because it's just not the same. Marky Post, speaking of crushes and stuff, you talked about Daisy.
It's a good
Christine
one.
Sullivan, when she was Marky Post on Night Court,
That's a good one.
Yep.
I was a huge fan of her.
She's dead, isn't she?
She passed away during the pandemic, I believe.
That's more polite the way you said
Well,
it. Sorry.
Thank you, yes.
Sorry. God
No,
bless Marky.
That's okay.
was a
but
good
it is kind of sad because we talked about Suzanne Summers the other day, and we're losing all of these,
icons.
we're losing a lot of these characters that we grew up with that were on the Three's Companies or the Night Courts or,
You know who's aged really well? Marie Osmond.
Marie Osmond.
What does she do now?
I don't know.
Late
She
night
still sells,
commercials?
Nutra. Doesn't she do the Nutrisystem still? And
Donnie Osmond looks the same too.
And I think don't they have a residency in Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Donnie and Marie?
Yep.
And who the hell goes and watches that?
A lot of people do.
You'd be surprised.
Clearly, yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen
only
them,
one's
but-
still alive.
But they were at the Flamingo. Every time I would go to on the Strip, you'd see the giant Donnie and Marie there on the Flamingo.
I wouldn't mind checking them out.
So Barry Manilow is like 90, and he still has a residency at the Westgate
does.
there. And
I can't hate. There's a niche for everybody. I
guess.
guess. Man.
Copacabana. People still want to see that.
Copacabana.
People that come to this town, hey, there's a new show on. These are real Poodle San Antonio guys. They're seeing how uncool our city is today. Watch this new show. Well, you guys are so backwards. Yeah, we like it that way. Keep San Antonio lame. Right? You seen the Keep San Antonio lame bumper sticker? Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
they're singing Barry Manilow
They haven't
songs.
seen Breaking Bad, but they love Barry Manilow.
That's right.
That's right. You don't like it? Go back to Austin.
Go
Biatches.
Spurs, go. Exactly.
Keeping it weird.
Oh, my
Keeping it
gosh.
weird up
Well,
front.
we're going to continue to
us
keep
lame.
it whatever. This is the 3 Cents Podcast as
Keep
we
it puro.
continue here. Keeping it puro.
Órale.
With some help from our friends at
Patos
Integrity
Locos.
Roofing and Siding, who are our presenting sponsor here as we move on. But, yes, we're having a lot of fun. And
Is that the only crush you had growing up, Marky Post?
No, I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody right now off the top of my head. But
Bo Derek was a big one back in
Bo
those
Derek,
Yeah, Bo
for
Derek.
sure,
Yeah,
10, and
Bo Derek.
Also,
I didn't
she's
think about
not a
that.
dead. I think she's still amongst
Derek
the
is
living.
still,
I
I
don't think
believe
she's
so.
crossed over into that other plane yet. She's
No.
still alive. Barely.
Cindy Crawford was mine.
Cindy
Her
Crawford.
and Belinda Carlisle. I liked her. And
Of the
Susanna
Go-
Hoffs.
of the Go-Go's.
Susanna Hoffs from
yeah.
the
Look
Bengals.
at these two.
Susanna
Yeah,
Hoffs,
that's
yeah.
that's another. Now that's another
one there,
conversation.
boy, I tell you what.
Music from the '80s.
You guys are salivating over grannies in here today, man.
No. Hey, none of
I
us
thought
are
we
getting
were
younger.
on the same age.
None of us are getting
we
younger.
are.
I feel like
You want us to talk about Taylor Swift or something? Or
No.
what do you want us to talk
I
about?
guess my joints more
Miley
90s. I
Cyrus?
guess I'm more 90s. My perversion
Alanis
will show.
Morissette. Okay, here, let's go.
Alanis Morissette.
My perversion will show
Yeah.
when we talk 90s stuff.
Oh, boy.
Then I'll get weird.
Here we go.
Then you'll hear
Avril Lavigne. Let's start.
Oh,
Go.
no.
Or how the kids say, "Who's your jam?"
Who's my well the 90s are my jam.
Yeah.
You know? And I try to stay hip, watch new stuff. I try to listen to new stuff because it gives me things to talk about my kids with.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
hey, how about that Post Malone?
Posty.
The Malone family must be proud of him, bud. Yeah.
I know his brother Carl.
Yeah, Carl Malone. The mailman.
No, man, look, I'm not the coolest dude on the planet. I try to evolve. I try not to live in the past, but it's hard.
Do the kids talk to you in that special lingo? Like, hey, Dad, this conversation is mid.
You want to
even
piss me
fire.
off? Call me bro.
Bro, oh my God,
Call
yes.
me bro. We're done.
Yes.
Yeah, don't call me bro.
Yes, my
I'm
kids
talking about
call
my kid.
me bro. They call each other. My sons call their sister bro. I'm like, that's your sister. What do you like? No, bro, come on, bro.
No,
What?
I don't have that problem.
No, they don't talk to you.
Good.
Like
No, not bro. I mean, I'm not saying my kids
Yeah.
are, don't say silly things sometimes, but they don't call each other bro.
Good. They
think
call women. They hear women. They call the girls bro. I hear it at the football games. Bro, get out of here.
Yeah.
And kids cuss a lot now in front of adults more than ever. I was a heathen. I mean, I'm the
Yeah.
kid that had the car that got busted up by the gang members last week. So I was no angel, but the language you hear when you go to ball games.
Oh, yeah.
From kids
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just random walking on the street, F this and mother F that bitch, bro, F you, bro, in the mall.
Right.
There's no respect when it comes to I'm glad you brought this up. I said, now I'm going to sound like a – now I sound y'all's age. Now I sound y'all's age.
Here we
Back in
go.
my day.
I cannot stand public disrespect when it comes to the language. And kids today, these damn kids today. And by the way, we're to blame. We're their parents. Generation X and younger baby boomers. You're the one raising these little punks today that go around cussing all day in public and stuff. And if you correct somebody, ooh, you trigger me. Yeah. Kids can't speep. That's the thing.
Yep.
They also can't speak.
Yep.
Yesterday. So where I live, I don't want to give it away, but there's a pool in the community.
Yeah.
And it was not hot. It's been rainy and cool this week. It's October for Pete's sake. And I'm walking along by my community pool, coming back from walking my dogs, going back to my place. And I noticed there were 3 probably in their early 20s, not kids, but 20, 21, 19-ish, Victor Wembanyama's age. And they're in the pool. And it's 63 degrees.
Chilly.
And they're just hanging. I go, you guys sure are brave being in that water. I just said, it's real friendly. And they're just like, kids don't know what to do when you talk to them in public, especially they even text their own damn.
No, they're used to looking
They
down at
text
their
their own friends all day. They sit there and they watch all these people living these amazing lives all day when they don't do jack shit all day.
Yeah.
And they're horrible when it comes to speaking to people in public because they never do it. Not everybody. These
Social
are
skills.
These are generalizations, but I think I'm onto something.
Yeah.
And this contributes to the shitty lingo. You talk, hey, bro, mush mouth,
LOL
no
and all this.
confidence.
Yeah.
It's like this. And then you wonder why you're 28 and you haven't been able to go anywhere. So much has to do with your ability to be confident and communicate and respect folks. I cuss too. I cuss on this show, but I don't do it gratuitously. And I don't curse in the wrong areas. I hear too much damn cussing from these kids today. And then when they do talk to you, half of them don't know how to speak to a human. It's not that they're stupid. Right. They spend all day looking at a box all day, and it sucks.
It's a whole other lingo. My son was talking to I heard them in the backseat of the car, and they were like, yeah, man, I was talking to my friend. It was straight mid, W Riz on that, fire, and it was like, all the flakes. I'm like, what are you talking about? Right. And then I'm trying to jump in on this conversation. I'm like, so, yeah, I was on low Riz, little Lizzo.
She ain't little, Clifton.
She ain't little, no. And I'm like, so the W Riz, this conversation is mid. It is so mid. It's not even fire. I'm no cap. No cap,
My son responded to a text message the other day. He's 13, and I said something, and he sent me back ALR, and I hadn't seen that one. ALR.
Always learn reading.
No, that was all right.
What?
Like instead of spelling it out ALRIGHT, I was like, what is it? Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
I try to get.
I ain't your homie. I'm your pop.
Yeah, exactly.
I said no. We can spell this out.
I try to be cool.
It'll auto spell it for you.
I try to be cool and try to talk in that language. They're like, stop.
ALR.
Stop that.
I don't know what that is.
I was only recently. Because I've just given up and I've just accepted the fate. Only recently have I started in the last few years started texting emojis to people, not to you boys.
Yeah.
No.
But to like my kids. But some kids, you'll see their phone. Like I'll look at my 22-year-old's phone, and there's a few words and a bunch of symbols and emojis. They're writing an emoji.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Eggplant, horse, pickle, unicorn. I don't know what that means, but I don't think it's anything good.
What does it mean?
Eggplant.
I don't think that's good at all. What you just wrote to me. Don't be So I don't love emojis. If they're used gratuitously and way too much, I can deal with the laugh symbol or the thumbs up. I'll do that to you boys even now.
I don't even know how I would.
But I hate it. I don't like it at all.
Growing up, I had social media. I don't know, because I had free reign. Just my mom and dad just kind of let us do what we wanted to do, and that was it.
It's incredible.
There was hardly any discipline in the house.
My twins will say, Daddy, so when you were our age, you just go play in the neighborhood all day, and Grandma Becky wouldn't know where you were? Nope. I just told her, hey,
exactly.
Don't go don't go more than a couple of miles.
Yep.
Miles.
Yeah. Well, it was
exactly
Grandma.
Right.
It was my mother. It was my mother.
Yeah.
My mother. It was check in every once in a while. Mm-hmm. They're like, well, what if she really needed to get a hold of you? What would she do? She'd go on the porch and she'd go, Michael. And if that didn't work, she'd go knocking door to door.
Yeah.
And it blew their mind.
It's so funny knowing how I was raised, kind of like the same like Mike. Mm-hmm. We left early in the morning. My dad said, get home before that light comes on. And we would either come home or we would take the brunt of the discipline we were going to get.
Yeah.
And one time, and we'd be gone all day. All day. And especially in the summer, we're gone all day. We'll take our can of soda with us, and we're out. We're gone. And it's like my kids, I don't think I've ever been on a public bus. I used to take 2 buses just to get to school in middle school.
I did too. I didn't want to go to the ghetto school I lived by.
I walked to my elementary, which was about 5 blocks. I wouldn't even let my kids do any of this. We were all protective about our kids, but it's so funny because I look back now and I'm thinking, maybe I should have let them do a couple of these things.
Yeah.
Because
our way wasn't necessarily the best.
Because
my parents underparented me.
Yeah, same here.
Same here. Come back tomorrow. Where you been? I was at my buddy's house. Whatever. I was under. So I'm not saying that old school way was the right way, but Gen X kids, and of course, again, these are generalizations.
Right.
Gen X kids grew up with freedom. I'm not going to be home when you get home from school. You're going to have to let yourself in. I was a latchkey kid.
Latchkey
I had to,
kid,
yeah,
yep.
and you're on your own. Hey, there's beanie weenies in the fridge. There's
That's right.
tortillas. There's pickles.
Hot
You're good.
pockets.
Yeah.
I don't want
Hot
to hear
pockets.
shit. I'm going to be out. I'm going to bingo.
Bunko night. Yeah, whatever.
So here I am watching Dukes of Hazzard, watching horrible television. I was underparented. There's balance to both. I think
No whammies. No whammies.
I think kids today they're not dumber than we were. They're less social. I was neglected.
Oh, wait a minute.
So there's good and bad with every generation, but that's the one that gets to me the most, that sticks in my craw the most, is because I'm a people person. I mean, look what I do for a living, so I get that. that. I'm not saying that there's introverts and extroverts and everywhere in between verts, and most kids today struggle with grown folks, and it's not good.
And they have no shame about it either.
Well, when they're 30 and they're living with you. I told you, learn some skills, learn some communication skills. It goes a long way. Hey, so here's the thing: you're not going to college rapport, so your ass better learn how to talk. That was me, So there's room in this world for old school ways.
Yeah,
old school doesn't do necessarily. It's not a sinful word,
right.
But I believe in evolution. Yeah. But old school still has some strengths that I support and such. And I didn't mean to get off on this tangent, but kids speak strangely. Obviously, a 14-year-old is not going to speak as a 48-year-old man, but adapt to the flack and the flim flam on the little Lizzo. You're not going to do that at school with your partners.
Speaking
don't
of
talk
little
to
kids,
daddy like that.
LG, put the white
thing, shot.
The white. Look at that. Like I'm like a little kid. Lollipop can.
Lollipop
hanging
can. Off the.
I like that.
I like your get up to that. That's my boy. That's that Jeff Trailer.
Yeah, there he
that's
is.
that UTSA. We don't eat the cheese is the slogan of the week. Don't eat the cheese.
Well, they're undefeated in conference play so far.
They've won some games in a row.
I met Frank Harris earlier this week.
Did you really?
He's a good dude. I like Frank.
Super guy.
Real nice guy.
I like Frank Harris.
Stood next to a couple Spurs at that event.
I saw you at Top Golf rubbing elbows with some of the Spurs.
And then one of the guys was Zach Collins, a tall guy. Man, that guy's tall.
He's 6'11".
Jeez.
Just signed a contract.
Oh, my gosh.
So
I'm like sitting next to him like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And my friend goes, you could blow on his belly button. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh.
All right.
Huh, that took a turn.
Relax.
Yeah, that took a turn.
It's not where I was like trying to go, but okay. Back to Prestige Motor Park.
Yes. No. Well, that seems like a sensible place to end our podcast today. But no, we have had an amazing time here at Prestige Motorsports. Thank you 1,000 times over to Ben Brunton and his amazing team that put the cars here for us.
Super sweet.
Set us all up with drinks and everything, and we hope to be back here very, very soon. So we've had a great time. We hope to do it again, and we hope that you will join us whenever that is. So
thanks, LG.
For now, yes.
Thanks to Jeff.
Thank you to the great guys behind the scenes there.
Yes, Jeff.
Yes.
I let Jeff.
Checks in the mail. We'll see when it arrives. But he's Cleto Rodriguez. He's Mike Taylor. I'm Ernie Zuniga. See you again very soon right here on the 3 Cents Podcast presented by Integrity Roofing and Siding.